Following her husband's death in June 2024, today's guest found herself navigating not only overwhelming grief, but also a welfare system she says fails many widowed families. Today, she shares her story and explains why she believes change is urgently needed. Hello and welcome to this episode of A Gift for Grief. Today, I'm joined by Anna Maria, a widow, a mother of three, and passionate advocate for bereaved families. Following the death of her husband Dermot, she experienced not only the heartbreak of profound grief, but also the financial uncertainty that so many widowed families face. In this episode, Anna Maria will share the devastating impact of losing her partner, also her partner's income overnight, the reality of raising three children while grieving, and why she believes no bereaved family should have to fight the benefit system at a time where they're trying to rebuild their lives. Her experience has led her to support Widows Fight UK, which is a campaign calling for reform of the UK's Bereavement Support Payment system. Anne-Marie, welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Hi.
Well, before we begin, I just want to say how sorry I am to hear your story.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, it's incredibly inspiring to see how you've navigated your journey while raising three children and also becoming such a passionate advocate for the Widows Fight campaign. Now, for listeners who may not be familiar with this campaign, could you tell us a little bit about it and how it came about?
Yes, it came about from a widow called Caroline Booth. She started the petition, and there are kind of several widow groups that you can join. And I picked up her post that she put with the petition in the Way charity group, Widowed and Young group, it's called. And I was gobsmacked at the time to hear what she'd written, to say that actually, in fact, back in 2017, the government had changed bereavement support payments, changing it to you used to receive it to, up to your children received child benefits, so basically about 18 years, up to when they reach 18 years of age, and they'd changed it to 18 months only. And they had, not only that, had changed the amount as well to £350 a month.
So they reduced the amount?
They reduced the amount as well.
And the money was funded by the national insurance contributions made by the deceased
that's
person?
That's correct, yeah. So you could only receive bereavement support payment if your husband or wife had paid national insurance contributions.
That's dreadful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely dreadful. So what does the campaign do?
Together with Caroline and several widows that we picked up were commenting or writing in to Caroline to say that they were struggling with money. My money had finished in December, so I only received it for a year and a half, which is 18 months. And I saw her post in January, so just a month later, and I was already struggling to get through with the month and the bills that I had to pay. And I spoke to Caroline. Caroline spoke to several widows herself as well. She was trying to push the petition, and I just felt that I really wanted to help her. And I felt really moved by her story. She'd published a couple of articles in the Yorkshire Post and another one in another newspaper. And I read her story. She's got two kids, older kids. And it just seemed so unjust and unfair. And we just found that there were so many of us out there. And so we grouped everybody together and created the Widows Fight. That I think I named that.
Oh, well done,
yeah,
you.
Don't know why.
Great
I was
name.
feeling fierce then. And it just all worked together. It just seemed like Caroline's petition just opened up just so many voices that wanted to talk about how they were struggling. And there was just so many stories. And we just gathered people with the Widows Fight UK Facebook page, and we We got a core group together. There's about 40 of us, probably more now, that have really, really worked hard at spreading the word all around the country, including Scotland. We've got a Scottish group.
Fantastic.
And, people have been contacting their newspapers. They've been writing to their local MPs, and just word has got out.
Yeah, and you've had over 100,000 signatures. And just a couple of days ago, there was some exciting news.
Yes,
Would you like
yes.
to tell us about that?
We reached over 100. We're actually about 108,000 now, which is amazing. We've got another week to go, so we'd love any more signatures if possible. Caroline contacted me to say we now, as we've reached 100k, we now need to hand over the petition at 10 Downing Street, and she asked me, as well as 5 other widows that have been involved, to come with her and hand over this petition at 10 Downing Street
and this is
on the 9th of July.
The 9th of July.
Yeah, so the day after the petition finishes, we're all going down there. It's a big moment.
Exciting.
Yeah,
You should be very proud of yourself. So the
Thank
signatures
you.
have worked.
Yeah.
So what changes would you most like policymakers to make? What's the aim?
Ideally, we'd like the Bereavement Support Payment, which actually was called Widows Parents Allowance. That was the original name, which still exists. The old sister, I've met a widow recently who lost her husband before 2017. She's still receiving it, and it's currently £700 a month. So it's about £156 a week. And she's got 1 child. So I was quite shocked at that. As I said, I've got 3 kids, and my bereavement support stopped after 18 months. So, yes, we would like a return to that. We want the old system. We want it for longer. We'd like it uprated from £350 a month in line with cost of living. You know, in the last nearly 10 years, there's been huge changes economically, and families are struggling whether they've lost someone or not. Yeah. So we want it uprated. There are also other benefits that could be looked at, things like council tax. You know, I got a quarter reduction when my husband died, but why wasn't it 50%, for instance? Yes. You know, quarter's not enough. And we're still grieving. You know, some of us are not able to go straight to work straight away, things like that.
It's such an unfair system, and it's such a massive jump to go from what people were getting before 2017 to what you get now.
Yeah, it's what makes me, as a widow, different to a widow before 2017. Yeah.
So what can other people do to support the campaign?
I would continue signing the petition, but we've only got a week left, but it'd be great to get those numbers up. Write to your MP, let them know that it's unjust. Yeah. It's affecting bereaved families. It affects the children as well, you know.
Absolutely.
Because you're constantly budgeting on one income, and I'm not even a full income yet at the moment. I'm part-time. Yeah. So some of us have. I got life insurance with my husband's illness, but that's basically gone now because I had to look after him while he was ill, and I wasn't able to work straight away, and money does go. Yeah. More support, just spread the awareness.
Well, what I can do is put all the information in the show notes, and people can get on board with the campaign. So 2 years ago, Anna Maria, your lovely husband Dermot died of cancer. What was he like as a person? And can you tell us a little bit about him?
Oh, wow. Well, we were nearly 30. Well, it would have been in December, just gone 30 years that we were together. Oh. So he died 2 years ago. But I met him at university. So he was fun. Lots of energy. You knew he was in the room. He had a fantastic laugh that just got everybody going. Everybody wanting to talk to him. He was very friendly, very kind. Loved people. Loved helping people. As a couple, you grow together. Yeah. So when I met him at university up in Hull in 1995, December 1995, you know, you change as a couple and you grow. And we were very lucky enough to have our own business together, so a travel business. So we grew with that as well, and had 3 children in between it all.
Oh, it's all sounding so wonderful.
Yeah.
So how did Dermot's diagnosis come about?
Well, he was actually, so the travel business that we had, it was for music festivals in Europe, and post-Brexit and then post-COVID, it kind of went downhill. So Dem and I weren't doing that so much. So he became a builder, just temporarily, as you do, and handyman round Leamington. I pimped him out a few times for jobs. We need to pay the bills, Dermot. And then he ended up really learning loads of skills. So yeah, one day he came home, and I just presumed it was work, but he had a pain in his chest, and he went to the doctor about it and didn't tell me straight away. So he found out just before we were going away for Christmas to his family. He got a call from the doctor and decided he didn't want me ruining Christmas Day. And we'd actually had a party as well in the house. We love people coming to our house and music, and we'd had New Year party. And then about, I'd say, a week later, he turned around to me. And he said, I need to talk to you about something really important, one evening, and the kids were in bed. And I thought, gosh, what's he done?
Yeah.
Has he had an affair? And he handed me a glass of wine. He had one too. And he said, I've got to tell you something. That I did get a call from the doctor in December, and they've found something in my lung.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he'd been holding that inside.
Yeah, for about 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
That must have been an enormous shock for you.
Yeah, it was probably the worst. I won't forget it, really.
It's one of those moments in life that your life just changes on that spot.
Yeah, it was instant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were quite frightened.
So how did Dermot cope with that diagnosis?
Well, it was a scary time because when you find out information like that, you then have to wait for the results, and you don't really know what is it. Is it cancer definitely, or is it something else? Or it didn't sound great. And shortly after he told me, I think was it 5 days later, Dermot he collapsed twice, and we hadn't told anyone at that point. He'd collapsed twice in the hallway. About I think 11 o'clock at night, and one of the children heard that I was struggling to get him up, and they didn't know what was going on, and I called the ambulance quickly, and he was struggling to breathe because it was a tumour essentially in his lung by his heart. And I think after that we sat the children down, but didn't say too much. We just said we're just waiting for some results. They found something in Daddy's lung. And we had to tell close family about it. And then it takes weeks to get results. I think we had to wait the longest, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, to actually get the biopsy done to find out what it was. We did have a meeting with a consultant at Warwick Hospital who did say it's 99% likely it's cancer. But we didn't know what kind of cancer, so we were waiting on the biopsy for that. And in the meantime, during that waiting, Dermot got worse and worse, that we ended up putting his bed, he had to turn the dining room into a bedroom because he couldn't walk up the stairs anymore. He was struggling to walk anywhere,
So
really.
it happened quite quickly?
It happened really quickly, yeah.
And when you're waiting for test results, it's torture.
It's torture. It's absolute.
The
I've never
stress.
experienced anything like it in my life.
Yeah.
It was very torturous. The children worry. Everybody worries. You get a lot of calls from family. Have you got the news yet? No, not yet. But I could just see him going downhill, which was quite painful to see when you've got really do much. Yeah.
So do you think the children understood what was happening as time went on?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were, apart from that time that we didn't tell them straight away when he collapsed, we were pretty open. My eldest daughter was like, you have to tell me everything, you know, I want to know.
What ages were they then, Anna?
So at the time, I would say, so he lasted 1.5 years with treatment. So I'd say Layla was 16, doing her GCSEs, I think, which is tough. And Rosa was about 12. She just started secondary school. Maybe she was in the second year, I'm not sure. No, I think it was the first year. And my youngest, Boris, was in primary school. So, yeah, it's very tough.
Such a difficult ages to, they shouldn't have to experience that, should they? It's just so unfair.
No.
I remember when my son Matthew was diagnosed with cancer, my holistic business went on the back burner because he became my priority. Like, you gave up work to look after Dermot. You know, Matthew was still living at home, and there were medical appointments, surgery, scans, blood tests, as you know. Once you've been thrown into the world of a cancer diagnosis or any serious illness, your whole world gets turned upside down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But on top of this, you had 3 children to look after as well. When you look back at that time now, do you feel that you were well supported?
Yeah, I mean, we were very lucky, Dermot and I, that we had a lot of friendships in Leamington, and we were quite into the music industry because we had a travel business in it, and we used to hold competitions, like a nationwide competition, and it was held at the Zephyr Lounge in Leamington, where we would have gigs there and our competition that happened every year. So we knew a lot of friends. We were very involved in the school, the summer fairs. We even, myself and my sister sang at the summer fairs on stage twice. So we were very involved. So we had a really great network of friends. Yeah. And obviously family, although it's just my brother and sister that live nearby. The rest are kind of around. Yeah.
That's good to hear that you were well supported.
Yeah,
because a lot of people say it's very difficult at that time because people don't know what to do they? What to say? But when someone's, you love is diagnosed with any terminal illness, the grieving process often starts before they die.
That's right.
Because there's this term called anticipatory grief. And it's not something that people talk about an awful lot, but as that person starts to decline, you're grieving in real time. You're grieving the loss of their energy, their independence, the routines you shared, and the healthy person they once were. And then your mind starts to wonder, what will life be like without them? And then you feel guilty for having those thoughts. It's such a difficult time, isn't it, to process everything?
It really is. Dermot was a really strong man before he got the cancer, and the treatment really wiped him out. And he was super strong going through the chemotherapy and radiation to his lung. And it was radical treatment that he had, so it was double dosage in a way. And he was amazing. But to see your husband, or from the children's point of view, your dad, diminish over time to the point by the end he'd lost so much weight. But he just kept fighting. He had another set of chemo treatment after the first lot, because unfortunately the cancer came back. And he took the last one as well, but they had to stop it because they said it's not working anymore and you're too ill.
It's just torture, isn't it? Because there's nothing you can do.
No, you have to hold it together for the children. And the kids were amazing, still going to school. I'm very proud of them. The key thing was for me to keep routine as much as possible, even though you're crying inside, knowing that, I think in between this kind of grief, anticipatory grief, I think there was a part of me that held on to hope just to keep going. I never let go of that, purely because it was too painful to the reality of it. So I always sort of hope, well, Dermot will be that 1%, you know, that will get through it, or there'll be a miracle, or tried the odd radical diets that he didn't like doing, or no sugar, and read books.
It gives you sort of a bit of control as well, doesn't it? You feel like you're doing something.
I had to do something. I wasn't working, you see, but I think that affected me as well. It affected my way of life. It was constantly there. But I was grateful for that time that I did have with Dermot, that we spent time as a couple, which was amazing, because I wasn't working, and we had really good chats. Not enough about the future. I think that was one thing that I kind of wish that we maybe did talk about. What was I going to do without him? I think it was too painful, and I think for me, I held on to hope.
And hope
right
sustains you, doesn't it? All you want is hope.
I couldn't do it without, no. And I had many a, coffee chat with friends, and how are you doing, Anna Marie? What's the latest update? The latest update was always bad news. It was always bad news from a scan result, or it's come back here, and, you know, more chemo, more treatment. But you know, every time I was like, but, you know, I still got hope. I have to hold on to that.
I resonate with that, absolutely, because hope is the belief that one day something will be better.
Yeah.
And that's all you want.
Yeah.
It helps you survive. It's a survival mechanism, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And sometimes, you know, Dermot would have a good day, you know. There were better days. And you might you sort of thought, well, maybe he's doing all right, but then you would have a scan, and it would take you right down the other way. They call it scan anxiety, don't they? And
Scanxiety,
scanxiety.
Yeah.
And it was just the point where I really dreaded the consultant meetings. I hated them by the end. I didn't want to go in, but I had to go in with him. Obviously, I wanted to support him, but I found those meetings really, really dire. Yeah.
Oh, Anna, I resonate with what you're saying so much, and there will be so many listeners that will also connect with this, that have been through this journey. How would you describe grief to someone who has never had a significant loss?
Wow. That's a really good question, isn't it? I think I understand grief is different for everybody, how they feel it, how they it's incredibly painful, it's incredibly deep. It's up and down like a yo-yo, but it's always there, grief. And I don't think there's a day gone by that I don't think about it. And think about the loss, or the loss to my own family. It's quite evident that we're not the same as we used to be, and that really hurts. Wanting to speak to the one person that you really need when you're struggling, and he's not there, that's really hard.
Have you had any counselling or any therapy?
Yeah, counselling. I'm still going to counselling. I had counselling when the cancer came back, was when I started my counselling at Myton Hospice, who are fantastic, by the way. And they've my children have had counselling through it. Even my husband Dermot, when he was live, he had counselling. But my counsellor there, he stuck with me throughout this process. I just saw him today, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. He's great. And I think he said we're getting to a point where we could let go a bit. But it's been kind of in and out counselling, but he's been fantastic.
So you found it very beneficial for you? Yeah,
counselling is great, you know, and I think it's really good to look back. You know, it's been a long journey to how I was then to how I was now. But that support is just so important.
Yeah.
So important.
Do you think that employers, communities and charities could do more to support widows?
Yeah, I mean, I think the schools are getting better. I think they're starting to learn how to deal with children that are grieving. Because sadly, particularly cancer's on the up. It's just rising. There's more kids that are unfortunately losing a parent, particularly. And I think the schools are getting better, but maybe there needs to be a bit more.
Yeah.
There are some great charities that I know, like Children Bereavement UK. They're doing a lot. The network there, but we need to be educated, and I think the government are the ones that really need to be educated about it, and not think that 18 months is enough grief, because it isn't.
Yeah, and how are the children coping now?
They've struggled. They were amazing in the beginning. Dermot died in June, so we had the summer holidays to have a break in general, and the two youngest went straight into school. My son started his secondary school this year, but they went straight in, and again, routine was what seemed to work before. However, my middle child has struggled, and my eldest child, she's 19 now. She's had a lot of problems. She struggled a lot. I think it's the hardest, maybe because she knew Daddy the longest.
Yes.
She found that really difficult, and they were very close with her.
And I think that they get angry with the people they feel the most safe with.
Yeah.
And the ones that are closest to them, because they know that unconditional love is there, and they can be angry, but it's hard when you're on the other side of that.
Yeah, it's taken me a while to realise that, and actually through the counselling that I've had at the hospice, this is what we realised, and this is what he told me, is that actually you are giving a lot of love. You are the one that she loves. It's just that you're the closest, and they will hit you the hardest, and that made me understand. So, you know, grief is a really difficult thing, and when you're exhausted and tired and you're dealing with 3 different emotional kids, and particularly my eldest, you just need to keep telling them that you love them.
Yeah.
It's so important, and you're here for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Now, do you believe that grief has changed you in any way?
Yes. Yeah, it's oh gosh, so it's been 2 years, isn't it? Yeah, it has. I think it's actually toughened me a lot. I think before Dermot's cancer, I used to hide behind Dermot a lot. He was the stronger one, and I've had to learn how to deal with life without him, and all my other worries and insecurities about myself, I've had to learn to get through them. I've had to learn to be a different mother to my children, because I am now mum and dad, really, essentially.
Yes.
There's no break.
So do you feel like a different person to who you were before?
Yeah, I mean, she's in there, Anna Maria. and I, you know, 2 years, it feels like a long journey, even though it feels short as well. But I've learnt a lot about myself. But I've also learnt that Dermot and I were together, you know, we were a couple. We created ourselves together in a way, you know, over those years. And I think I now know that he's in me, he's with me.
Yeah.
You know, and that works for me, to know that he's part of who I am.
Yeah. It's still part of your life.
Yeah. And I think I want to keep that, really, even though I've been going sort of full steam ahead, bringing up the kids on my own, sorting the house out, you know, money, finances, fixing the bloody car, all the things, go out in the bathroom when I don't know how to go out. You know, it's all the things that I'm doing all by myself, really, essentially. And I've learned a lot about that. But I know that he's still egging me along. He's still part of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite memory of him?
Oh, gosh. That'd probably be the music festivals that we did it for 16 years.
That sounds amazing.
Went to festivals all around Europe.
Wow.
We were very lucky. And we had really good, Dermot's parents used to look after the kids so we could go.
Yeah.
So we were very lucky because it was our business. So we'd
So you've
go
got
off.
some lovely memories then.
Yeah, all over Spain, Germany, Croatia, Serbia, Bulgaria. Quite a few, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'd love to hear more about that.
I know.
I know my husband, Bill, who's sitting here recording this, would be very interested in this because he's also a musician as well. And
that's amazing.
We love a good music festival.
Yeah, I do. And we loved it together, which is why we set up the company. We were volunteers at Reading Festival for 3 years and saw immense amount of bands there. And then for some reason we really loved it and we decided to...
We can do that.
You were going to do it, and we did.
Fantastic.
In fact, I started it off, and then he joined me, and then we made it big, and
that's
we loved
incredible.
It. Yeah.
Well done, you. Well, it was Dermot's 2-year anniversary just a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So it's still early days for you. But where would you say you are in your grief now?
It's still painful. It will always be painful, I think, but I've accepted it more 2 years down the line. The initial grief when he died was, I think I was still like, where is he? When's he coming back? Kind of grief. I don't want this. I don't want to do this. I can't do this. I can't do this without him. But 2 years down the line, I feel that I'm starting to just allow myself to remember the good times. I can listen to music just about without crying because we loved so much, so many songs that sadly there are so many songs that take you back, and I found that really difficult. And music was very much part of our lives. So can I really put a song on without crying yet? Maybe not. Maybe that one's for the future.
Music has such a powerful,
it's very powerful
way of touching our emotions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So has your grief brought you any unexpected blessings or positive insights into your life?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I learned through grief things that used to matter before Dermot died, or rather before he got diagnosed in a way, that I thought were important, don't really matter to me anymore. Silly things, I think I'm a stronger person. I know now what I can do and what I can't, so I don't always see it. I've got lots of friends, but there are times when I need to check out, and if I need maybe 3 months of not seeing anybody, I don't take it as a bad thing. It's just that I need to recover or I'm going through a bad... So there's a lot of self-care that I had no idea that was going on or has developed in 2 years that you have to do in order to keep going, and self-care is actually a really big word because it's strong. It's about looking after you.
Yeah, putting yourself first.
Yeah,
definitely.
And you know that you have to put yourself first in a way in order to be able to manage what's in front of you. I've got the 3 children, I've got bills to pay, but it's this managing and actually, yes, it has made me stronger. Grief has.
Yeah.
And that's unexpected. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't, in the anticipatory grief of him going, I never thought that I would even get to 2 years.
Yeah. And look at you. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Do you have any special ways to remember Dermot? Do you have any family rituals?
Well, the other day, when it was his 2-year anniversary, we had a big meal and music and dancing. Dancing in our little lean-to, because we've got a record player in there. I don't know why we all bung into there, but we do. And Dermot built it. He fixed that for us. So that place has a special place in our house, and just. Yeah, it's seeing the girls dancing, and Boris is a bit young, he's 12, but seeing the girls just knowing every single word to a song, thinking, I didn't think you were paying attention in the car when we were playing, or, because we used to travel around Europe a lot with the children, poor kids, for hours. So I think we had one journey was 36 hours in a car. Oh. Poor kid. I know, we did do stopovers and toilet stops.
I bet they loved it.
They did, but you don't realise everything that you put in then as a family is actually it's so important, because it's still there. Yeah. And that was the beauty of, I think, Tuesday, which was the 2-year anniversary of his death, was seeing that he's still within us, and it is music for us, and dancing. Yeah. We don't just sit and we're not that kind of family, and nor was Dermot. So that's a ritual, I suppose, in itself.
Absolutely, and you can see Dermot still living in your children as well. Yeah. I think that's beautiful. Mm. What would you like people to learn from your grief?
Grief is difficult. Just don't forget about those people, and don't say call me if you need me. That doesn't work. So I'm not going to call anyone if I need them. It's just it's not personally, and I think having spoken to other widows, it is really the case that the most amazing people have been the ones that just turn up, knock on my door. I'm looking right. What do you? Just wanted to see if you're all right, or bringing meals and just checking in. And just keeping it regular. Don't check in once and then forget about it. People do, just make sure that person's all right. It doesn't have to be a particular anniversary, because it can hit you with the pain at any point. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's really important that people keep mentioning his name.
Yeah, some people think that, I find that strange actually, that I don't know if you found that, but some people avoid using their name, or they avoid talking about. Why would I not want to talk about Dermot? He was in my life for so long.
They might upset you, maybe. Perhaps that's their intention. Or but better not mention it.
No.
But I used to find that if I talk about Matthew all the time, but there's certain people that will change the subject because they feel uncomfortable with it, because they don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah. So,
I understand, but it's really... I found that a bit surprising in some people, that I was like, because I just wanted to talk about Dermot all the time, and I still do, Yeah.
Because he's still part of your life.
Yeah.
So this question I like to ask all my guests, what are your thoughts about the afterlife?
I'm a big believer, actually. And I've been reading a book, is it Laura Jackson, Signs? That's a fantastic book. I just, the soul continues as far as I'm concerned. And, the physical form's not there, but they are around. I'm hoping Dermot's my guardian angel looking over us, making sure we're all right. No, they've not disappeared at all.
Do you believe our loved ones can give us signs?
Yeah, I mean, Dermot's not very good with his signs, to be honest. I've talked to him about that many times in the garden, in the sky, going, could you just send me something? But it's funny, I have songs coming in, and I keep going back to music, but I think that was our...
Yeah, that's your connection, isn't it?
That was our thing, and I don't know. I have songs coming in the middle of the night, which I find really bizarre. Mainly songs I knew the words to, because he knew that I was rubbish at lyrics to songs. So, but yeah, really bizarre. They just come in, and I think he's talking to me.
I think that's his way of saying I'm still here.
I think so, and I don't think he wasn't a fussy I don't think he'd throw a lot at me. I think he'd want to let me go. But it's enough to. I've had my, not just the songs, but I've had a few other signs, and that to me just keeps me going. And I hope that continues very much.
Yeah, and I'm sure it will. Yeah. I think once you start to notice them and you're open to it and accepting of it, then...
absolutely.
Yeah. But if you could give Dermot a message now, what would you say?
Look after us, darling.
Oh, I'm sure he will, Anna Maria. You are amazing, and I'm sure he's very proud of you. Thank you so much for sharing your story with such honesty and courage today. I know that talking about Dermot and your family's journey and the challenges you've faced since his death won't have been easy. But by doing so, you've given a voice to so many widows and widowers who may be feeling isolated, overwhelmed and unheard. So thank you so much. Today's conversation has been about so much more than financial support. It's been about love, loss, resilience, and the reality that grief doesn't end after a funeral or after an 18-month deadline. For many families, that's when the hardest part really begins. If you'd like to find out more about the Widows Fight UK campaign, or you'd like to support its work or learn how you can help bring about change, I'll include all the relevant links in the show notes. And if this episode has resonated with you, please consider sharing it with a friend, a family member, or anyone who may benefit from hearing Anna Maria's story. The more people we reach, the more we can help raise awareness of the realities facing bereaved families everywhere. And please follow the podcast, leave a review, and join me next time for another honest conversation about grief, loss, love, and hope, and the unexpected gifts that grief can bring. Thank you so much, Anna Maria.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to this episode of A Gift for Grief. If you found it comforting, please consider subscribing to my podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. Please also leave a review because it helps others to find the show. Together we can help each other become more grief literate. To learn more about my personal journey and my 2 books on grief, visit www.louisebates.co.uk. The music on this podcast was written and recorded by my son Matthew Bates and can be found on his 2 albums, Fight Back and Kaleidoscope. And finally, if you're struggling with grief or concerned about your mental health, please reach out to your doctor. You don't have to go through this alone. Until next time, be gentle with yourself and thank you for listening.